Alternative energy development in Japan. Japan is a densely populated country, and that makes the Japanese market more difficult compared with other markets. If we utilize the possibilities of nearshore installations or even offshore installations in the future, that will give us the possibility of continued use of wind energy. If we go offshore, it's more expensive because the construction investment into alternative energy research and development. The U.S. government must continue to back the expansion of the role of alternative energy research and development and its implementation by companies and homeowners. Although this writer believes in the reign of the free market and that government is best which governs least, our current system has companies and people expecting federal backing. How to seek grants for alternative energy are. If you are someone who wishes to begin researching and developing alternative energy technologies and you would want to be set up as a not-for-profit organization or entity, you will want to look into getting government grants, on both the state and the federal levels. Government grants for alternative energy research and development have been alternative energy from the ocean. Ocean thermal energy conversion (OTEC) was conceived of by the French engineer Jacques D'Arsonval in 1881. However, at the time of this writing, the Natural Energy Laboratory of Hawaii is home to the only operating experimental OTEC plant on the face of the Earth. OTEC is a potential alternative energy source that needs to be. There has been much debate about what is often called free energy. Some suppliers of alternative energy. Amelot Holdings is a company which presently specializes in the development of biodiesel and ethanol plants throughout the U.S. Amelot's objective is to establish relationships between various suppliers of alternative energy who are biodiesel and ethanol researchers or producers to further their ends with long-term profitability and growth in mind. Amelot furthers the cause of developing nuclear power as alternative energy. Many researchers believe that harnessing the power of the atom in fission reactions is the most significant alternative energy resource that we have, for the fact of the immense power that it can generate. Nuclear power plants are very clean-burning, and their efficiency is rather staggering. Nuclear power is generated at 80% efficiency, meaning that geothermal power is alternative energy. We should be doing everything possible to develop geothermal energy technologies. This is a largely untapped area of tremendous alternative energy potential, as it simply taps the energy being naturally produced by the Earth herself. Vast amounts of power are present below the surface crust on which we move and have our being. Wind power as a viable solution to meeting alternative energy needs. Wind power is a viable solution to meeting alternative energy needs, although it is much less expensive to initially get hooked into the local electric company's grid than it is to set up and hook into wind turbines. In the long run, one saves money by utilizing the wind for one's energy needs. Investments in alternative energy. It is possible to have a portfolio which profitably, that's the key word, is it not, invests in alternative energy funds. Green energy production is expected to be a multi-billion, in today's dollars, industry by 2013. The most recently developed wind turbine technologies have brought us wind-produced energy which is more cost-efficient as well as an alternative energy education method. No ratings yet. The best method of educating young people about alternative energy production that this writer has ever witnessed is the use of the Pico Turbine Company's kits, books, and projects. The Pico Turbine Company produces these things for the purpose of advancing the cause of renewable, alternative energy and getting young people to look into the future and jobs in alternative energy fields. 1 votes, average, 3.00 out of 5. Many people who take jobs in the alternative energies research and development sector have to, at least in the beginning, take relatively low pay. Taking a job in this industry is thus not about the ways that the military is using alternative energy. No ratings yet. The U.S. military knows that its branches must revamp their thinking about how to engage in the theater of war in the new, post-Cold War world of the 21st century. One thing that the military leaders stress is the desire for the forces deployed in the theater to be able to be more energy independent. Currently, resources for alternative energy. 1 votes, average, 1.00 out of 5. There are many different forms in which alternative energy is available. One of these is solar power. Solar power is driven by photovoltaic cells, and these are progressively getting less expensive and more advanced. Solar energy power can be used for electricity, heating, and making hot water. Solar energy produces no pollution, as its input. Government grants for alternative energy. No ratings yet. In his State of the Union address for 2007, President George W. Bush called for a 22% increase in federal grants for research and development of alternative energy. However, in a speech he gave soon after, he said to those assembled, "I recognize that there has been some interesting mixed signals when it comes to consultants on alternative energy. No ratings yet." The alternative energy consultants tell us that the transition from the petroleum-driven economy and society will not be a smooth one, on the whole. The amount of new technologies and infrastructures that need to be developed and built is staggering. Investing in alternative energy stocks. 1 votes, average, 1.00 out of 5. Alternative energy stock portfolios are a great part of a modern investor's financial plan, due to the fact that there is so much upward potential. These make excellent long-term growth investment vehicles, and the money put into them by you, the investor, serves to further the cause of implementing the alternative energy power sources. University research into alternative energy. No ratings yet. Decades of tree and biomass research jointly conducted by Florida Statue University and Shell Energy have resulted in the planting of the largest single energy crop plantation in the entire United States. This plantation spans approximately 130 acres and is home to over 250,000 planted trees including cottonwoods native to the area and eucalyptus which